Thank you guys for being here at Hera Podcast. Today I have the pleasure to have
Nema Daghbandan, which is the biggest component of it is you have to know and you have to be able to say I messed up very quickly, because if you're willing to do that, because it's hard, right? There's shame, there's all these emotions that come with that feeling, and a lot of times it's fear of retribution, right? And people complain to me about, my own parents, oh, it's too hard to get a mortgage, and I was like, it's a good thing. It's a safe system because
it protecting the consumer.
Correct.
That's it.
That's right.
That's why you're part of my team.
Right.
If I'll give you the loan, I will be killing you.
Yes.
So I'm not taking care of you.
I'm taking advantage of you otherwise.
Be part of the team. Yes. Understand that I'm protecting you instead of harming you.
Yes.
If I'll give you the loan, I will be harming you.
Yes.
Thank you guys for being here at Hera Podcast. Today I have the pleasure to have Nema, and I want you to help me saying your last name. Because
I was wondering whether you were going to try. I was wondering.
Yeah, how do you pronounce it good? So it's Nema?
It's Nema Daghbandan.
Daghbandan. Okay, perfect. Nema, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's a truly pleasure because it's not because you're here, but I really admire you from the beginning. The first time you were in my previous office, actually, you've been like some type of mentor without you knowing that.
I appreciate that.
The technology part. I remember when you told me the story about how you created lighting docs, and I really love it. I remember that I talked previously on that conversation. We were having conversation in the office like we should have technology, we should do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And after I met you, it was like the message that I was waiting for the universe. So we need to have a proprietary software. We need to create our own thing.
Yeah.
And we need to believe on this. And we did it. And
that's so interesting.
And nowadays, I feel really confident that my software is one of the strongest software in the market.
Yeah.
Because thanks to you, at the end, if you create your own thing based on your experience, based on everything that you've seen in the industry, all of those that I'm not criticize the other software, but that like general software for everyone, I think it's not what everyone needs. And so thank you for being here.
And it's so funny. I mean, 2 points on that. One is it's so funny to me because I have the same experience, right? It's so funny that people rarely have an appreciation for the mark that the others have left on them.
Yeah, no.
Right? It's so much of my life is going, and I'll tell the people, I go, I had either one, they don't remember the conversation, right?
Yeah,
I actually, or two, they're just blown away that this happens. This happens to me all the time. And I'll give you your second point too, which is the technology piece of this. Your team, and I work with very, very, very big institutions, right? With huge dev teams and lots of resources. Your team was the fastest team to do an integration with us.
No way.
Yeah, fastest one by far. I mean, I've never seen it done. It was one of those things where I was talking to our internal dev team because they said, they're done with the integration, and I was like, it's impossible. There's no way they can be done. And they're like, no, we saw the API calls. They're coming through. They're pushing through, and I was like, so congratulations, you've cracked.
Thank you.
You've cracked the secret.
Thank you. But yes. I think for me, for example, we just talk about that. For me, money, it's just the result.
Yes.
When I talk to people in general, and I love to talk to all people, it's basically tell me how.
Yeah.
I always talk to my daughters, and I always tell them it's not how much, just got the much.
Yes.
Just got the much.
Got the much.
We don't care about the much.
Yeah.
Just ask about the how.
Yes.
Because we live in a world right now that the most important thing is the how much followers, how much money, how much. I don't care about the much.
Yes.
I just care about the how.
Yes.
And I love every time, and I remember the conversation that we have, and I remember how you guys started lighting dogs, and I remember all the stories that you mentioned in the office with Kevin, and I'm really grateful about that. I've been trying to, because I think the most important thing, it's not trying to invent anything.
Yes.
It's just trying to make things better.
Yeah. We have an expression internally at the office, and it's kind of been our guiding principle. It's a law firm on the software side, which is see a need, fill a need.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Don't try to be creative. Don't try to think about where the market's headed. Most of that stuff is out of our control. But what is very much in my control is if I see a problem, and I can try to find the solution to the problem. It's within my control to do it. Just go try to solve for it. And oftentimes that's what we end up becoming the best at, right? As a law firm, we really, at the time, we were going through, I take you back, now 12 years ago. And we were, we knew we were a private lending law firm.
Yeah.
Right? But it felt small in terms of is that your highest and best? Are you going to be a private lending law firm? Is that even such a thing? Right? Oh, well, should we go after, really we're a lending law firm. Should we go after banks and credit unions? All this whole universe of commercial credit, is that really, that felt more prowess. And we thought that's actually more important. Let's and we just sat there and said, we're really good at this, right? We've specialized, all of us here understand this kind of really unique universe. You've got this kind of single family.
Just to the people understand, we're talking about Fortra right now.
Yes, sorry.
Okay, no, we need to, because we know what we're talking about. The people we're talking about Fortra, the law firm that you work for many years. I think since 2012?
Since 2010.
2010.
So it's my first job out of law school was at Fortra Law.
No way. And you're still there.
Still there, still a partner there. And it was I didn't know what private lending was, had no idea the term hard money, no concept of it.
I think no one knows at that time, but it's okay.
Right. So I'm going and I'm looking at this because I just graduated law school at the time, and I remember seeing back then, even in California, you're drawing 12% loans, 4 points.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, am I in something with doing with like loan sharking right now? Like, this feels very wrong. Right, but I kept seeing all these clients were very successful. The loans were all paying up. I couldn't understand at all what the heck was going on, right? And it wasn't until probably 5 years into my practice that I understood just basic. What is the capital stack of development? Right? How does it, when you want to buy a piece of investment real estate, how do you raise money? Do you raise your equity money? You raise your debt money? How does that all kind of get put together? Is it all cash? And just understanding that basic premise.
There's no expensive money if you know how to use it.
That's exactly right.
That's all.
That's exactly right. And so it was really helpful to just have that framework. But going back to the 2013 conversations, we just sat there and said, I don't think that we're going to be the best lending law firm in the world, right? Because there's lending to who? Are we going to be bank regulatory experts? Are we going to be, credit unions have their own regulatory regime? They've got all sorts of issues that these private lenders don't have, right? So and we are the smaller organization. What are we going to be the best in the world at? And it was a very conscious decision at the time, saying, the need here is specialists in private lending, and that's all we're going to do. Right. And thank God we made that decision.
And you guys basically help the building of the industry, to be honest, because private credit, what was private credit at 2010, 2012? I started in 2012.
Yeah.
So I was 2 years behind of you, but I started in 2012, and I came from a country, Latin America. I hear my grandfather says every day, like, the people who ask for money is people who are in trouble. So we don't think in leverage, lenders were all predatory in our country. So I remember my first job was in a private lending company, and I called my mom, and I really believe in energy, more than religion, and then energy is everything.
Yes.
And I was like, Mom, the worst karma ever. I just got a job in a lending company, so I'm gonna be the bad guy. I don't know what about 12%, 3 points. We're killing the people.
Yes.
So, and then I understood that the leverage, that there's no expensive money if you know how to use it.
Speed of execution, the whole reason for the existence of the product, right?
And the most important thing, it's, if I have to give an advice on the people that are hearing about us, the exit strategy.
Yes.
And I always says the relational part of the business, not the transactional part.
Correct.
Because the transactional part is beautiful.
Sure.
First day, beautiful. How much you won? 15%, 4 points, 60% LTV. Yeah. But I learned that the smart money doesn't care about the collateral.
Correct.
Doesn't care about the deal.
Correct.
He only cares, the smart money only cares about that money makes more money.
That's exactly right.
Probability. How probable is
that's right.
that you're going to pay me back or no? Because that's what only matters.
And I had no appreciation for this at the time, which was that I'm assuming that the nature of this work, because I'm not a real estate investor myself, and it wasn't my background, right? So I didn't have any real appreciation that the repetitive nature of this business. I didn't think that there was mostly working with really, really qualified real estate investors that knew what they were doing, that could rinse and repeat. It was actually their experience that was going to be the most important element of all this, rather than what terms. All of that was mostly irrelevant.
That's interesting, because I was thinking about that the other day. We've been learning from the clients, and we've been building the industry based on their needs.
Yes.
It's not us as lenders or the, like the other part of the business.
Right.
Saying these guys, like, we're going to lend into you as we know or as we think, because at the end, we don't know nothing.
Yes.
And we just basically building the industry based on the needs on the client.
Correct.
Finding middle grounds, because
you are directly connected to a capital market system, so you can understand the financial side of this, and how to provide them financial tools that they otherwise don't have.
Money, to be honest.
Correct.
Unlimited
especially
money
right now, right? And so you're able to bridge that gap, because they don't. And similar is they understand in a deep way, which is, how do I add a creative value to this piece of real estate, right? In a way that we will never appreciate. Right.
I said all the time, Nema, that this is a caring business, because you're basically trying to care about everyone all day.
Yes.
How do I care about the money that the institutional partners are giving to me? How do I care on the client that I need to basically also make sure that he's doing a good business, because that's my job all day.
100%.
I have 1,000 of investors. I'm going to do this business. Oh my God, let me see if you know what you're doing. And I have to review, and I have to care about you, because if I don't care about you,
that's right,
I'm not caring about the money that I'm deploying here.
100%.
So it's exhausting.
Yeah,
to be honest.
And you said a second ago, which is important, right? For us, particularly when I was on the practicing law side of it, was the same thing, which is we felt it was in our best interest to make sure that our clients were operating at a high degree of ethics, and making sure that they were able to operate well. Because for us, the ultimate if you're going to focus and say, this is going to be the primary industry we're going to represent, well, then the only way it grows is if that industry grows. Right? So we were very fixated on making sure that there actually was some level of best practices, that the operators were really going to operate at a high degree of capability, right? Because if they had to succeed for us to succeed.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. And I think the most important word or phrase that you're gonna hear today, it's best practice.
Yes.
What is best practice?
Yes.
Like 2 years ago, I was, I'm a big thinker. I don't know if it's good or bad. I did therapy in the morning, and I was asking, like my therapist, like, how do I care less? How do I stop thinking? Like, I need to focus on just one thing, because I'm a big thinker.
Can I ask you a question on this? Because this is interesting that you said, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on big thinking, because I had this conversation with my wife the other day, and she said, how often do you listen to everything that I'm having to say? And I was just being very honest with her, and I said, not a lot. And she goes, why? And I go, I'm mostly in conversation. There's all these things occurring, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just giving you my honest output, which is I'm thinking about lots of things, and then sometimes I'll get lost in the conversation. She goes, well, why aren't you telling me that? Like, you're not picking. And I was like, you don't understand. Like, this is happening all day long in every conversation. Yeah. Do you find yourself in a similar?
It's the same. Nema, I have like a notepad in my nightstand, because at 3 a.m. I just woke up with an idea. I have to write it down, and I continuously, because my mind never stops. And I'm trying to.
I take out my phone. I have a Google sheet, and on my Google sheet is when I wake up in the middle of the night, I do that, and I go on there and I just type in whatever I'm thinking, because I can't go back to bed.
Exactly.
Because I go, this thing, I have to make sure this thing gets dealt with at some point. I have to remember this thing, and it will forever forget if I don't memorialize it somewhere.
Actually, a very interesting story about me. It's basically when we started Hera.
Yeah.
January 1st, 12:01. So midnight, New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
It's actually I'm doing a case for Harvard.
Yeah.
Because it was noisy, shutting down like the best company ever.
Yeah.
Best moment ever.
Yeah.
Shutting down that.
You were on a high.
Basically 90% of the employees, when me and my partners decided to split, we just asked the people, like where you want to go, and 90% said, I'm going to Hector. And I figured I didn't knew it was either a good thing or bad thing because I have to start like a new business with 90% of the team. I cannot basically let them down.
Right.
I had to do a new business with all the employees that I used to have in a great business. So it was a challenge.
Oh my God. Like I'm getting anxious.
Yeah. And I'm going to share with you later the email that I prepared for them to share at midnight, like on between December 31st and January 1st when Hera started.
Yeah.
And part of the email says that I've been living my whole life about, in Spanish is ECC.
Okay.
So what if the outcome is good, right?
Yeah.
So I never, because I was raised in a family that, because I'm a big thinker and I have thousands of ideas every day, I was like, Mom, what do you think about that? Well, but if not, but if yes.
Interesting.
So ECC is if yes.
Yes.
So I couldn't go to sleep without, like even trying.
Yeah.
If it was a no, okay, but I try.
Yes.
That what kills me. Basically, it burns inside me. Like if I have an idea, I think it's a good idea, and I didn't do it because if no, but if yes.
Yeah.
And I told them in that email, I'm going to share it with you, like, we're going to be doing Hera.
Yes.
And the only question is if yes, if it works, right?
Yeah.
If it works, if it doesn't work, okay. But we're going to learn either if it's a good or bad.
Right.
I always tell that to my employees and to the client. Experience in the lending industry, in the private lending industry, in the business purpose loan.
Yeah.
We always ask about experience because institutional partners, the criteria, it's, okay, we have 3 tiers or 4 tiers. You are experienced, you are no experience, or you are institutional.
That's right.
And I always tell, going with the yes, I don't ask the client if the result of the experience was good or bad.
Right.
Right? I'm just ask the clients,
it's ultimately,
you have experience.
Do you have experience?
You have experience doing fix and flip.
Yes.
Yeah, show me the 3 previous projects. I never ask, tell me if it was profitable, if it was good, or if it was bad.
Sure.
Because my way of understanding it, if it was good, you know what you're doing. And if it's bad, you learn how to not to repeat it.
That's right.
That's all.
That's right. And you're willing to come back to the table again, even if it was bad.
Correct. So it's interesting, how lives work and about, like the thinking, non-stopping way.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I feel like in most marriages,
there
is what we call the grounder and the kite.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think that you fit in that kind of natural like I am very much the optimist. And it's interesting because optimism has a component of devaluing risk.
No, 100%. I'm the most optimistic person ever.
Right.
I remember the other day a friend of mine came from Venezuela.
Yeah.
Actually, he works for me.
Yeah.
And he was staying at my place, and my day's crazy. Like my routine is crazy. I do like 1,000 things in a day.
Sure.
And by the end of the day, I always complain that I need more time.
Of course.
And he asked me like, Hector, bro, how do you do it?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm like Nike. Just do it. Just do it. Right. Don't think about it.
Right.
If you start think about it, you're not going to do anything.
You're not going to do anything. Yeah, you got paralyzed.
Just do it. Do it, learn. I always says also either you learn to fail or you fail to learn.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Every night I'm trying to think about all the things that happen during the day.
Yeah.
What I can learn from that.
Yeah.
And my biggest fear is that life happens to me and I didn't notice it happens.
We are like the same human being. So I talked to, I remember having this conversation with my wife maybe 5 or 10 years ago. And I talked to her and I said, my greatest fear is I didn't live an intentional life.
Yeah.
I don't want to just be passive in what we're doing.
Yeah. And what's going on? What happened in the last 20 years? I have no idea.
Yes. And in all aspects, because I don't want to live in my, I think of life as a series of, like I think of a pie and what are the slices, right? Your finances, your kids, your fun, your all these sorts of things, right? So, and I feel like without intentionality behind those things, those things will happen, right? You will make money, whatever. But when intentionality is applied on top of that, the mental peace you now get that you are living in accordance with your priorities.
Yeah, and every life it's similar.
Yes.
Every life.
Yes.
And for me super boring.
Yes.
So just basically you born, you were raised by your parents, you had a wife. It's like, man, how boring. You know, like the other day I recommended to you Daniel Loss stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
But he's a really, really smart guy.
Yeah.
And he talked about this episode about the jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
And he talks about relationships and everything. And he basically said that the life is like a jigsaw puzzle, but none of us have the box.
That's interesting.
So we have no idea what we're doing.
Yes.
And we start about the corners, how you do like a puzzle.
Right.
You start by the corners if you don't know what you're doing.
Sure.
And basically in one corner you have family, and the other corner you have friends, and the other corner you have job, and the other corner you have hobbies.
Yes.
And in the middle, you're trying to fit the right person to make you whole.
Right.
It's amazing.
Interesting.
And at the end, we've been living in a life that we're trying to basically try to fit pieces, and they're not going to fit.
Yes.
And that's the most horrible thing.
Yes.
Living without notice that it's not going to fit ever.
Yes.
And you have to do something.
And I think it's hard, at least for me, it's very hard. I'm very much an optimist, and it's hard, and I am very, very slow, and I struggle with things. I don't think I've got the right piece, and I need to change the plan, and it's so hard for me to come to that.
Since we are having a personal conversation right now, I don't know if I'm bragging or not because of my personality and my dramas and everything, but on the few things that I failed in my life are the most painful ones because for me, 2 + 2 needs to give me 4.
Yes.
And if it doesn't give me 4, it kills me.
Yes.
And I'm because I'm that optimistic that I know where I'm doing, and I read and I study, and I'm gonna make it happen.
Yes.
Because I'm that optimistic.
Yes.
And it's for me, and I think it happens to you. It's too difficult. Notice or accept that it's not gonna get you forever.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes.
And you need to move on.
Yes.
So it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It burns.
Yes.
But that's life also.
Yes.
And that's how you get more mature. I always says that you can meet a person at 15 years old, or you can meet a person at 50 years old, and not because they have 50 or they have 15, they're gonna be more mature or less mature. It's about the experiences they've been living in their lives.
Yes, correct.
And I've been, with people with 15 years old, so much mature than a person of 80-year-old.
Yes.
And that's what a life means, like for me.
100%. And I think that particularly for people that I think are very intentional about what do I learn from this, right? Because I think a lot of people, we have a core value in the organizations, right? We call it pursuing growth, right? And it's a choice because
pursuing growth. I like that one.
And it's really important when we talk about this internally at the organization. We say it's not just here at the office, but like the people that excel the most in our environment are people who are constantly personally and professionally pursuing growth, right? And it is intention. You cannot do this without intentionally trying to do this, right? It is a pursuit, right? And I think there's so much.
And the why part. I think the why part is everything.
Yes, 100%.
It's not because I have to do it. It's why.
Exactly.
Why am I doing this?
Exactly.
And I'm gonna repeat it all the time. It's not about the money. When I created Hera, thank to God, thank to life. I don't know. Thanks to to the sun, to the moon. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been in this industry, which I love.
Yes.
I've been having this conversation with many people.
Yes.
If you offer me $100 million, $200 million, $1 billion to stop doing what I'm doing, I'm not gonna accept that ever.
Correct.
Because I really love what I'm doing.
Correct.
And what we do is basically help people building their dreams. That's all.
Yes.
We sell money at the end.
Yes.
Who don't need money? Everyone needs money.
Sure.
And we sell money.
Sure.
We have Sharon from 1128. Sharon?
Yeah.
And Vincent?
Yeah.
She teach me something that it calls for her, and I've been repeating all the time, the believability part. It's not the credibility. It's the believability. People needs to believe in you.
Yes.
And we have that already.
Yes.
And you only gain that through the years. You know, like
it's reputation.
It's reputation.
It's the hardest thing to build and the easiest thing to lose.
And
right?
I've been raised in a family that, you know, like your name, it's everything.
Yes.
And we live in a world that maybe a contract, it's everything. You're a lawyer.
No, but I would tell you
So-
is the exact opposite in my world. I see it more than anything is that it's funny, right? Because I'm actually in the business of selling loan documents, right?
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that you only need my loan documents when something goes wrong. You never
Exactly.
need them when something goes right. So you
I love
actually
that.
never need to rely on the contract, right? It's actually what you've really put together is a good faith relationship. And when that good faith breaks down, then you go back and say, okay, what does this contract say again we're supposed to do now? It's like your emergency manual. Right, it's like you get on a cruise, or I just got off a cruise last week.
Yeah.
What's the first thing they do is they have you go to their muster station. It says, hey, if this boat is about to sink, I just want to tell you right now, come back here. We're going to give you the instruction manual on how to get off this boat safely. I want to make sure you know that, but no one's thinking about that on the cruise, right?
That's amazing. That's amazing. Actually, because I know all your loan documents.
Yeah.
Because I also been told since I was a kid, if you're doing something, first do everything related to the business.
Correct.
Everything.
Become an expert. Yeah.
Become an expert. Master everything.
Exactly.
Because when you have people, when you have
Yes.
employees, and there comes to you like, hey, this happened, or that I've been there.
Yes.
That doesn't happen. So
Yes.
I pretty know every loan, you know, like documents that we use.
It's so
and
fun.
the most important document I think, and I love, is the arbitration agreement.
Yes.
When people ask me,
Talk to me, because you're talking. So now you're talking my love language, right? So
Yeah.
but why?
because the arbitration agreement, it was the right practices.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it's the right practice.
Correct.
It's basically, that document says, like, in case of an emergency, not even you or me, because we're going to be biased.
Yes.
Who's going to decide how we're going to fix this?
Yes.
Let's go to an arbitrage.
Yes.
Let's go to talk to a
Yes.
judge.
Yes.
And the most important thing is the right to cure.
Yes.
Because if you're lending money,
Yes.
there's only two outcomes. Either you get paid or you don't get paid.
Yes.
And that's life.
That's life.
That's life.
Yes.
I always tell my clients, like, if you get in trouble, I'm your partner, I'm
Yeah.
not your lender.
Yeah.
So let me know
Yes.
from day one, early that
Yes.
you're having issues.
Yes.
That I'm gonna be here supporting you.
Yeah. We have the same. I mean, it's going back to core values again. One of our core values is accountability, and we talk about that. And I'm sure many companies have a core value of accountability, but we talk about that in terms of a really deep intrinsic sense, which is the biggest component of it is you have to know and you have to be able to say is I messed up very quickly. Because if you're willing to do that, because it's hard, right? There's shame, there's all these emotions that come with that feeling. And a lot of times it's fear of retribution, right? Ultimately, is what I think most people don't want to because they don't want to get fired. But if you can make it clear that in this environment, as long as you can say is I messed up very quickly, because if you do, and let's say someone messes up and it's something that relates to you, I can call you right away and say, hey, look, we messed up. Here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to try to fix this problem. And if we do that, I guarantee you're never going to sue me. We're never going to have a hard time.
I love it.
Right?
Nema, I don't know how, but in the future, we need to do something together. Actually, I'm going to share with you because for me, everything needs to mean something.
Yeah.
And I think you're the same.
Yes.
When I created Hera,
Yeah.
for me, Hera needs to mean everything, right?
Yes.
And since I have daughters, I was talking to everyone and also to my ChatGPT. And
Our best therapist.
yeah. Well, actually, the other day I said to someone like, hey, I prefer that, like, I can share my WhatsApp, I can share my text messages. I don't care if you search everything.
Yes.
Don't look at my ChatGPT.
Oh my God.
It's
Isn't that
very
funny?
personal. And
Sam Altman, if you're listening to this right now.
yeah. But I'm going to share an idea that I have that I love. But what's Hera, right?
Yeah.
Needs to be a woman. And very, very, when I start thinking about, like, in a very, I'm not going to say aggressive environment, but in a very blurred, it was like shadow environment for me. You know, like, obviously I was shutting down a business.
A lot of turmoil, right?
A lot of trauma and everything.
Yeah,
but I was trying to divide, like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but also I need to create something fast.
Yes.
Because just do it.
100%.
There's no time.
That's right.
I'm not gonna stop.
That's
You
right.
know, like, I love what I do. I know how to do it. I'm gonna do it.
That's right.
Okay, name. Wow, name. It needs to be a girl. Why
Yeah.
a girl?
Yeah.
Because I have two girls,
Yeah.
and I think this is the women's era.
Yeah. The future belongs to them.
the future belongs to women.
Yeah.
We tried, and I don't know if we fail or we succeed, but it's their time. You know, like they're so much organized.
Yeah.
We are hunters.
Yes.
Women are so much complete in general.
Correct.
We are hunters.
Correct.
Give me a task, and I'm gonna do it. Just give me one task.
Correct.
Don't give me 10 because I need to complete. Women can do 10 tasks, multitasking, everything that we know.
Correct.
Okay, I'm very into, my name is Hector from Troy, and the mythology. So I was like, okay, I love Greeks, I love Romans. I think, like that's our base.
Yes.
The Roman Empire basically built our democracy.
Sure.
Sure. But cannot be like a Greek god. It needs to be a goddess.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, but it needs to be related to my daughters.
Okay.
Also, okay. And I start connecting
Was
things.
this all a conversation with ChatGPT?
Yeah. And I need to connect
I love this.
a lot of things. I need to have this, need to have this. Okay. And then I was looking like, okay, who was, Zeus. What's, like Zeus.
Sure.
Zeus was the, like the most important god.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Who was the wife of Zeus? Hera.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Hera was the wife of Zeus, so she was the goddess of the Olympus.
Interesting.
She represents the marriage. She represents the home.
Yeah.
And my oldest daughter's name is Helena, H-E.
Yes.
And my younger daughter is Clara. So it's how begins my first daughter and how it ends my second daughter. So
it's so
Hera,
funny.
it's, Elena and Clara.
That's so funny.
And, I have something.
Yes.
Needs to be Hera. And then, but what I'm trying to build.
Right.
I'm trying to build something better
Yeah.
because I already did it.
Yes.
Right? And it works. It's a proven concept.
Correct.
This is not a startup. It's
Correct.
a proven concept.
Correct.
I know how to do it, but it needs to be better.
Yeah.
So, in the same analogy, this is going to be a new Hera
Right.
because it sounds like
Yeah.
the new Hera of lending.
Yes.
So, I created a company. And then I was reading the traction book about EOS
Yes.
and everything.
Yes.
And I was like, okay.
Do you guys use traction here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're trying.
Yes.
But let's create our values,
Yes.
core values of the
Yes.
company. And I was like, I have Hera. So I created the Hera way.
Yeah.
So if you want to work here, it's like the Mandalorian. This is the way, right?
That's right.
This is the way. If you work in Hera, if you live in the Hera world, you need to act.
These are our defining principles.
So this is our way.
That's right.
And our way, it's basically on the acronyms. So you have H, which is the home.
Yeah.
We need to treat this like a home.
Yes.
Everyone in our environment needs to be treated like you treat someone at home.
Interesting.
You need to care about the clients. You need to care about your employees.
I like that because I've seen synonyms, right? We use a terminology called unfirm.
Okay.
Right? Because when you think of a law firm, what do you typically think of? Stuffy, cold, you can't, unapproachable, all these things is typically what people
the misconception
think,
of
right? And we said, well, we want to be the opposite of all those things, right? We want to make sure, we want to have a very flat structure. We want to make sure that people that were approachable, both internally, externally. And so fun is you could take one word, you can say home, in a very similar concept and construct. Which is, hey, how do you treat your family members?
Yeah.
Right? It makes it so easy to take
easy.
a very...
And we are just starting.
Yeah, interesting.
And then, I already got the H.
Yeah.
Let's see the E.
Yeah.
E. Okay, if you are in your home, you need to behave, with excellence. Because it's not going to be a messy home.
Yes.
No one behave
Right.
in the best way possible with excellence.
Yes.
So everything that we do, we're going to be doing in the most efficient and excellent way.
Can I ask you a question? When you were coming up with these things, was it in a group setting? Was you by yourself?
No, it was by myself.
Interesting.
Only by myself.
That's so fascinating.
Non-stopping thinking. And
Interesting,
it was like, I already have the H, I have the E. What about the R?
Yeah.
Okay, if I'm in a home and I'm behaving, and I'm acting with excellence, well, there's no respect what's going to happen.
Yes.
Treat me like, with respect.
100%.
That's all I ask. That's what
interesting
everyone asks.
Because every value, too, has to have a dual play. Because it has to, what is it like to treat one another inside these four walls? And how will we work with our customers?
Yeah.
Right. It has to have the exact same.
How you're going to treat others the same way you like to be treated.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
So respect is mutual.
That's right.
Right? So that's the three core values that we have.
Yeah.
It's basic.
And it's the home one is such a I've never, I go to clients' offices often and look on the walls and see what the values are often, right? And some of them I really love. I mean, one of my favorite one was delight the customer, because I thought I think most businesses have a construct of take care of your customers or customer service or golden rule or something, but I love the word delight.
Yeah.
It made you just think and go, that's an interesting way to think about it, right? Is that you really want to put a smile on their face.
Yeah, no,
right?
yeah.
But the word home is really fascinating. I've never thought of it.
I don't think it's the opposite, because if you behave like this in the Hera way, you are gonna be delighting everyone in the room.
That's exactly right.
You're not even going to delight the client. You're going to be delighted.
Well, because what you're ultimately saying is there's platitudes, and many companies will say is, we're like a family here. But when your very first value is no, like this will be like home.
Yeah.
Right? It's an insistence, right? And our culture will always feel like home.
And at the end, just to close with your comment.
Yeah.
The A.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
We already are in a home working with excellence
and respect,
and respect everyone, because respect is the most important thing. But we're humans, and we're gonna make mistakes, and we need to be accountable. Everyone needs to be accountable, not only everyone inside that home, the client, the employee, the capital partners, everyone, be responsible on your decisions. And I think if you work under those 4 things who represent the name of the company,
right, we can't.
It's impossible.
It's impossible for us not to be successful.
It's impossible.
Right.
So that's the Hera way.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
So it's amazing. You know, like how, because it's been a challenge.
Because this is the interesting, and that's why I'd asked you the question about, did you do this on your own? Because so when we came up with our values, right, we had our core executive team, and we fought, because we're brainstorming on the wall. We're saying, is it this word? It's all synonyms. Is it this word? Is it that word? But is this? And we're fighting over it. And then, well, what is the word? Especially when you throw things like unfirm around, right? Like that can mean a lot of different things, because some of that is like hijinks, right? Like you want to screw around the office, you want to horse around. That can feel unfirm. But there's also a deep, hey, you actually really care about someone else. That in a big stuffy firm, you probably don't care about about whether something happens to someone else, right? And so there's this real internal dialogue and trying to process to come. But the nice thing is, once you do that process, at least internally for our purposes, is that there was a tremendous amount of buy-in. Yeah. Right? Is that, hey, look, that Moses did not come down with the tablets to tell us what the rules were. Right? No. And so how are you taking? Because I love it, right? You've sold me. I'm like, hey, screw it, guys. We're throwing it away. Here's our new value system, right? Yeah. But how are you going to take this and make this institutionalized in your organization?
What was the question again?
How are you going to take this and institutionalize an organization? How do you take your stone tablets and say, let me get you on board with me?
That's the thing, like track record. I think it's everything. Yeah. Because the paper can, sure, you can write here as much as you like, and you can sell me, but show me what you've been doing and show me what you learn.
Yes.
I don't care. Yeah. I told you, like, I've been talking with institutional partners.
Yes.
And the question is,
yes,
tell me about the loans you didn't do.
Yes.
Don't tell me about the loans.
What are you saying no to?
What do you say no to?
Yes.
And also, because I've been talking to a lot of people, I got approached with 1,000 people. Everyone right now, they're playing to lend money.
Yes.
I always says that they're playing. They don't know what they're doing. Yes. They're just playing. They're like kids.
Yes.
I have a lot of money. I'm going to lend. They think they know how to lend.
Yes.
And it's difficult. It's difficult.
Yes.
And you need to know how to lend.
It's very easy to put out the money.
No, it's
That's
easy.
The easy part.
That's the easy
part. It's very easy to issue loans.
You can have $1 billion and you're going to lend that money in a week if you want.
That's not the hard part of the business.
Yeah, but what about the risk mitigation? What about the right team? What about the right process? It's not only, I always says that post-closing is more important than pre-closing.
100%.
And if you have a really good post-closing, that's where the repeat client is going to be.
Correct.
Because they don't care, like everyone can lend.
Yes.
It's how you're going to treat the client.
Yes.
Like how you're going to treat the client after he is inside that home.
Yes.
Make the client part of the team.
Yes. Let
the client understand what's going on.
Yes.
And because it's been a growing industry, this industry truly has 6-7 years, no more than that.
Correct.
Since
with institutional capital.
Institutional capital, the securitizations arrives.
Correct.
And actually, part of my, like frustration during the last 2 or 3 years, it's been like the lack of structure, the lack of regulation. I'm not saying like...
No, I was just in, I was meeting with a really large company, and I was meeting with their general counsel, and he and I were talking about this, and I said, it's really a shame right now, because I said, and it was on my heart, and I said, we should really get all the general counsels for all of these big organizations, get them in a room together and write down best practice manual. And just distribute it and say, that's it. These are the rules.
I think it's the best way to do it.
Right.
I feel, and I felt in the past that I'm like a superhero.
Yeah.
But dealing with criminals all day.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Horrible.
What a great. Yeah.
The level of fraud in the industry is tremendous. Why? And I think it's a human nature thing.
Sure.
People try to find a flaw in the system.
Correct.
And they're going to try to exploit it. That's it.
That's right.
And that's why the system cracked in 28.
Correct.
And that's why Jamie Dimon says the other day that this is going to crack if we don't fix it.
Correct.
Even though we're going to put $50 billion. So it's a system that works, but it has too many flaws.
Correct.
And you know it more than me.
And particularly to your point, is when you're dealing with an industry that doesn't have a ton of regulation that sits on top of it, it requires good internal governance, and there's no centralization of that governance right now. Yeah.
When I started Hera, during the last year, I was writing a basic book about private lending.
Yes.
What is private lending?
Isn't it funny that doesn't exist?
That doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
So
in an industry that is putting out this amount of money, there is no book.
No book. So I said, okay, let me write like a simple book about what private lending is.
Yes.
Right practices, best practices.
Sure.
Like what is processing, what is underwriting, what is servicing, what is draw, what is recourse, what is non-recourse, what is dodge, what is non-dodge. People have no idea.
And it's fast because I'm on the documentation side of this, right? And it's fast because I've only lived in this universe, right? So in 2018, you had, in addition to the construction, RTL, all that kind of stuff, the private lending loans, you had the DSCR loans, right? So I'm living these two parallel worlds, and I'm looking at, and the DSCR stuff, I get 0 requests on, right? The most complex thing I'll ever get asked is, hey, can you provide this new type of prepayment penalty? It looks a little bit different than the other ones you have. It's the only type of request. On the construction
RTL
side, hey, can you change the interest calculation for the daily calculation? Can you extend it 4 decimal points out? All sorts of variation that is truly meaningless.
No, right? And it's like,
how I feel today.
Okay,
yes.
This is how I feel today. Please change this. It's
yes.
Where's the standard?
There's no standard. And it's crazy because on a loan system I built, that's what we built. I think the reason why we exist today is because we're like, hey, look, all the crazy ideas you guys have come up with for the past 10 years, and put into the system to produce the results.
And look how crazy. We did the book, right?
Yeah.
And with a client of mine, he was finishing his PhD in Cornell, I don't know, and he's a finance professor in the University of Virginia, and we're like, okay, let's because I want to do an academic book.
Sure.
And I learned that in order to do an academic book, you need to have a PhD. Yeah. And I'm not gonna do it.
Correct.
So okay, let me co-write with a PhD. So I invited this professor, and we did it together. Yeah. And then I figured like, okay, how can I teach the brokers that I'm working with me how to do things? Because it's horrible.
Yes.
It's horrible.
Yes.
So there's no certificate. There's nothing where the people can go and learn something.
Yes.
Basic stuff. I'm not saying
I get it.
I'm a NASA guy. I'm not a very smart guy, but basic.
Yes.
Basic. Okay, let's create a certificate. So we did the first certificate for brokers in the private lending industry.
Interesting, yeah.
We finished the certificate. Now I'm super glad. I don't know if it was a coincidence or what, but National Private Lending Association just launched a certificate for brokers.
Oh, that's so interesting, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Right.
I don't see people as my competitors. We're all allies.
Right, because how big can we make this pie and make it safely? Yes.
And I've been living my life in order to build a legacy.
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
The much.
Right.
I don't care the much.
Yes.
It's about the legacy.
Yes.
And since the AI comes up, and I want to share this with you.
Yeah.
I have this idea, and I'm going to do it. I try to call my mom every day.
Yeah.
Because there are some things that I like to hear from my mom. Even, I don't know if she's right or no, but hearing from her changed completely.
Yeah. Well, because if you think about it, is your mom is the one voice in the world that just cares about one thing.
That's it. Or me.
Every other thing is irrelevant to her.
And I think since with this AI, when you can basically leave a legacy for your daughters on the way you think.
Yeah.
I have this, goal in my life. I'm trying to basically teach the AI how I think. So in the future, I will love to leave basically an instrument to my daughters. Like, let me see how my father will think about this.
Wow.
That's it. And
that's
just think. We've been hearing like your grandfather was a very smart guy.
Yeah.
Imagine you can go and basically ask him.
Yeah.
Like if it was, because I have a professor, Francis Frey.
Wait, hold on. But I am so you just blew my mind. I can't let you continue for a second, because what are you doing? What is the technical side of this? Like, how are you trying to? Because this idea is incredible, which is basically let me leave you with me forever.
Yeah,
right.
It's basically you teach an AI.
Yeah,
you give them, this is how I think. The AI already know how you think. When you talk to the AI and you have the framework, you need to basically say to the AI, hey, if I am talking to Nema, and based on all the information there is in the internet, the AI is going to give me the most probable answer. Right. That's all, because AI is probability.
Correct.
AI never gives you the right answer. Correct. It gives you the most probable answer.
Right. That's right.
That's all, based on the information she has.
Right.
If I can transmit all my knowledge, all my way of thinking. Hey, I'm having this situation and I'm doing this. Okay, she learned how I behave. Yeah. Right. And when my daughters have any situation, I don't want to give them the tool for the answer.
So are you basically?
I just want to leave a tool to what my father will think about this.
But are you thinking of this as in terms of just on the technical side for a second? Because are you saying, look, I want you to build, is the prompt effective? I want you to build a profile about me that could be shared with others.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
That's it.
Interesting.
And you can do it nowadays.
Right.
It exists, but I'm doing it more deeply.
Yeah.
Like with a meaning on my daughters. And in the future, I'm actually trying to replicate that in Hera.
Yeah.
So I'm trying, because I'm exhausted. I have 34 employees who needs to talk to me every day. So talk to the...
And so much of it is not the answer, but the way you think about it.
It's the way I think.
Particularly risk.
That's it.
What sorts of risks should we take?
I took this idea, Francis Frey.
Yeah.
She was my professor at Harvard.
Yeah.
She is the one who saved Uber for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
You need to... I don't know if you know who she is.
I remember reading the story, yes.
Okay, but you need to... Yeah. She's amazing.
Yes.
One of the most, best mind ever.
Sure.
She already wrote 12, 14 books. Yeah. And she already she did a chatbot where you can ask how Francis Frey will think about an idea that you have. And based on the books and based on the knowledge, she answered. Now imagine, I'm not here anymore in this world. My time already, and my daughters are going to work in the morning. Yeah. Let me talk to my dad.
Yeah.
Let me talk with my dad's mind.
Right.
My dad is not here anymore.
And also just think about this from a self-confidence perspective. You have an advocate in the world who is truly your biggest cheerleader, always left behind.
Yeah.
Right.
And you are immortalizing your mind.
Your love for them.
That's it.
Right. Wow.
It's like the Tony Stark helmet. It's the same. Jarvis. Yes. It's like leaving Jarvis behind. When Tony Stark died and she puts the helmet, it's the same thing. I don't think I'm going to leave a helmet. Yes. But I think it's interesting.
But I mean, and then the business application side of it, right? I mean, that concept of just, I never thought of this, which is so much of what you are needed for and what I'm needed for on the day-to-day is how do you think about this, right? Because that helps create organizational alignment. Right, because that's what you ultimately want. That's why we create values. That's why you do all these exercises saying, look, this is what I think. I want this business. I want every person in this business to kind of emulate these attributes. right? And so it's so much of the decisions because so much of what we do is art, not science, right? And the results can vary based on this, which is there's actually a spectrum of answers that can be given. It's not really a precise, and I think people get upset with me oftentimes with this because they're saying, well, you said something kind of different a few weeks ago. And I was like, I couldn't even tell you what I said. I'm just telling you the way I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Right? Like, I actually don't have precise. If I felt absolutely certain about something, I would tell you. Like, I'm not trying to hide the ball from you.
No, and that's the beautiful of life.
Right.
You know, we basically are. It's evolution. You know, like
Right.
I think something today, probably in 2 weeks, I'm gonna think differently.
100%.
So
Because I'm presented with new information all the time.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And actually, what I think is the missing link in the industry, it's what I'm trying to do. Basically, I'm launching a new version of my software.
Yeah.
And in that version, it's making the client part of the team.
Interesting.
Like when you are asking for a loan, don't, like basically come here, ask me for something, and the fight is going to start. Hey, we're going to play this game together, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be in my system. You need to get on board.
Yeah.
And you're going to have responsibilities. The processor are going to have responsibility. And the originator are going to have responsibility.
Interesting.
We want to do the loan as a team. And once we close the loan in the industry, it's interesting, but because close means we open the loan. But when we close the loan,
Oh, that's funny.
It's funny. But when we do the loan, you're not gonna be playing with that team, but another team is gonna come.
Yeah.
So it's like life. I
Yeah.
learned that, I don't know from who, that life, it's a game.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
If you get married,
Yeah.
and you think you already won because you're married, you're done.
Right.
It's a game. You need to play every day. It's like a soccer game. You choose.
Yes.
Let's say soccer game. No, I already get married with this girl,
Yeah.
so I'm not playing anymore
Yeah.
because I already won. No.
Yeah.
You need to play every day.
100%.
Because if you get, like, and in the situation like, oh my God, I need to start playing, it's gonna be like 20 against 0.
100%.
Because the other person, she's probably playing, and you're not been playing for the last 2-3 years.
100%.
So you're not gonna tie the game ever.
100%. Right. It
It's
goes
the
back
same-
to what you and I talked about at the beginning of this conversation. It's the intentionality.
The
of these sorts of-
intentionality.
Yes.
It's the same in the industry.
That's right.
And also, I think because the lack of structure, the lack of regulation, and the amount of money who wants to be deployed, it's making a perfect storm. A totally messed up because
It's my greatest fear.
There's a lot of people trying to lend without knowing
My greatest fear.
anything.
100%.
So
because if that capital leaves, all of this hard work, all of this momentum, because again, it's interesting, the type of capital, I was talking to a person about this yesterday, right? We think about insurance companies, right? Insurance companies are starting to allocate, we will do an allocation for these asset classes, right? That's a new concept. They really haven't chosen to think about it this way. And there's nothing stopping them from saying you know what? We don't really like that asset class anymore. We had some weird experiences with it. There's too much fraud or whatever it might be. Allocation's done and it's not coming back, right? And it completely will change this industry forever for all the worst parts of it. Like, this is such a time to be careful.
No. It's
to be thoughtful about what we're doing.
I'm 100%, and I think, and I will love to be part of that committee. If one day you are gonna try to do it.
Yeah.
Actually, on the book that I'm releasing in 1-2 months, I received 3, advices from people from the industry to not release it. Because why you're gonna tell the people how the industry works, how you're gonna tell the people,
interesting,
like it's better that they don't know everything. And it's like, no, they should know everything.
Almost like don't give them all your secrets.
Yeah, exactly. So why are you saying that we need regulations?
Oh, interesting.
The regulations are bad. It's not. They're not bad.
There is a big movement. It's interesting. I've seen people, and I can appreciate that as a general rule. I was doing a lobbying campaign in Florida many years ago, and they were trying to pass licensing for business purpose mortgage lenders at the time, and the reason behind it was very corrupt. There was an actual individual who was licensed because they were doing consumer loans out there. They didn't want all these out-of-state actors to come in, and if I told you his name, you would know him 100%. I guarantee you. So I'll have a private conversation with you, and it will not surprise you who this person was. And this person had a lot of influence with the legislators over in Florida, right? And I remember talking to them about this, and I said, and it's a Republican legislature. So I said, I'm generally surprised. Why would you want to require licensing? It doesn't really seem to align with you philosophically. And the guy just looks at me and goes, you think I'm an expert, right? Like I should be an expert on this thing is what you're kind of expecting of me. And I was like, I guess. And he goes, you were in that committee earlier when you were the one that was telling me about this issue, and you were in the committee, right? He goes, do you remember the other things that we were talking about at the committee? He's like, because I do. We were talking about car insurance regulations. We were talking about bank finance rules. And he's like, do you think I'm going to become an expert on every one of those issues? He's like, absolutely not. That's not my job. He's like, it's your job to try to help inform my understanding of something. That's your job, not mine, right? It was just such an honest moment, and I think that's the fear of regulation, right?
Yeah,
ultimately, that the people writing, unless you get the right people in the room,
100%,
right? They're too removed from the problem to write good regulation. But again, but in the aggregate of the system, right? Think of probably the best thing that ever came out of 2008 was the ability to repay.
Yeah, no.
It's why we would have had so many mortgage meltdowns.
The exit strategy, that's it. I told you, the ability to repay.
Right. The best thing that ever happened in mortgage. We would have had so many disasters repeated without it. And people complain to me about, even my own parents, it's too hard to get a mortgage. And I was like, it's a good thing. It's a safe system because of it.
No, it protects the consumer.
Correct.
That's it.
That's right.
That's why you're part of my team.
Right.
If I'll give you the loan, I will be killing you.
Yes.
So I'm not taking care of you.
I'm taking advantage of you otherwise.
Be part of the team. Yes. Understand that I'm protecting you instead of harming you.
Yes.
If I'll give you the loan, I will be harming you.
Yes.
So Nema, just to finish, we need to have 3-4 podcast episodes because there are tons of things.
I'll be back every week for the next one.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about Lighting Dogs. I'm fascinated about the project. I really love the project.
Yeah.
How many dogs have you guys been done since you started?
Yeah.
How many dogs you did last year? So for the guys who are listening to the podcast, Hera Lending and many lenders use Lighting Dogs as the platform to produce the loan documents for every loan that we do. I think it's the most strong and secure, and I love the emergency way of saying this is the emergency manual. I think it's the best. I love the platform. I love everything. I really, really love it. So when I did my software, I did many things, and I never thought about creating my own loan docs generators.
Right.
Even it's a possibility.
And you have the capability of doing it.
I'm the capability to do it, but if it is someone that I trust, I can rely on. Why be creative, and I love working with you guys.
I appreciate that. And you and I talked about this before, which is Lighting Docs was an accident, right? Because ultimately, I'm a lawyer at a law firm, and I'm writing loan documents for private lender clients, and I'm worried about committing malpractice because I've got a team of people. They are not all me, and they all have to be able to produce docs in Florida one day and Minnesota the next day and do all these sorts of things and not get our law firm sued for malpractice, right? So the solution I wanted to say is all the things I've learned as an attorney, right, take most of its rules. If you talk to your attorneys, they're basically going to ask you a series of questions. Says, great, how many borrowers, how many guarantors, do you want full recourse? Tell me all the things about this loan. And they're also giving you kind of advice in the background. And then they say, great, now that I have all this information, here is the exact right answer from a legal documentation perspective that should happen, right? That's the nice thing about what we do in transactional is that there is a perfect answer. Yeah. Right. And so he says, if you tell me all the inputs and I can apply all the rules to those inputs, then I can go ahead and create a good set of documents. And that's all it was. It was never intended to be an external facing tool. It was not by design. I wish I could have told you that we had this great idea. It was not that case at all. I just wanted to be able to produce law firm documents well. And then in 2018, that's when the whole capital market system just lit on fire. And we had so many clients saying, look, I cannot outsource this important piece of my process to a law firm. I cannot rely on your deadlines. I cannot rely on our people. It doesn't work. I need to own this part of the process. So I'm happy to use your software. I trust what your output is, but I don't need you all to look at the addresses and the title report. All these things I can do. I've got confidence on doing those things. And that started the product. And so that was all the way back in 2018. Now when you were talking about stats, it's beyond my wildest imagination. So right now we're doing more than 5,000 loans per month on there. It's now more than $3 billion of monthly origination on there. There's more than 300.
Yeah, I think you are the most respected platform, not even for private credit, RTL, also for DSCR, 30-year loans.
100%,
so
yeah.
conventional. So I think you guys are killing it. And
I appreciate that.
I would love to be around just to learn. I don't care about the much, but tell me how. But yeah, well, thank you, Nema, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I feel really, really, so the gratitude that I have with the universe, not with you. You're just a consequence. But just you two being here, I think it's amazing. You know, like most of the time I have the imposter syndrome.
Yes.
I learned about that like 2 years ago when I got accepted at Harvard and I was there like a 33-year-old, average age was 45.
Yeah.
I was surrounded by all the most big people, you know, like in the world.
Correct.
183 people from all around the world.
Yeah.
And I remember I was talking to a coach that was assigned to me at Harvard, and I told him like, hey, I need to quit. You know, like I don't belong here.
That's right.
You know, like I just have a company who already did like $500 million or $700 million, and I'm talking, and I have like 20 employees.
Yeah.
And I have people telling me that they have 6,000 employees and they have billions of dollars, you know, like in companies, and they made a mistake. You know, like and so that imposter syndrome, it's always a thing in my life because I've been doing a lot of things. I think one of my capabilities is the leadership part. I get blurred during the process, but don't tell me that I have to accomplish something because I'm going to do it.
Yes.
You know, like I'm going to do it.
Yes.
I don't know how, I don't know with who, but I have that motor, you know, I have that
the drive,
the drive in order to make you follow me in order to accomplish something.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
That's been my life. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of my life. And,
Thank you.
And let's continue doing things together. And I think we can do great things together.
Thank you, Hector. I appreciate it.